Well, hello again and welcome back to Rolynn's Reviews. I hope that everyone had a productive Saturday. I tried to do a little cleaning, didn't do all that I needed to do, but oh well, it will be done eventually. All right. As you enter the chat room, do me one small favor, please. Hit that like button. That is the little thumb that you see to your left. And guess what? Good news. It won't cost you anything. Hello, Peter. All right. So they're filling up the chat room now. So I'll give it a few more minutes so I can call everyone's name out during the roll call. All right. And let me know if you are familiar with this particular subject matter. Um, they are just losing their ever loving minds. And I love it. They have all become completely unhinged. Woo! We see a lot of changes taking place, and they're all for the better. And I'm all for improvement. After living through that travesty the last 4 years, I am ready. I've been ready for change. All right. We'll start with the roll call since more people have entered the chat room. Now, um, if you want me to call your name during the roll call, just say hello, send an emoji so that I can see that you are here. All right. If not, you're here and I can't, if you don't say something, I can't call your name out. All right. But that's fine. Okay. The Arena Uncensored. How are you doing, love? Drop your channel link if you choose to. There were some people that have been asking about you, and I told them you're still around, busy as usual. You probably have more work than you can, more orders than you can fill now that Trump is back in office. So I know you're pretty busy. Um, Peter, I hope you're doing great. Laurie, how are you, dear? Bipa, Tijuana border jumper. Hello, boss chick twins. Hello, where have you been? I haven't seen you in a long time. Wow. Good to see you, boss. Of course, it's good to see the Tijuana. Yeah, yes, Rebecca, you're right. They have been embarrassing. Oh my God. Again, they are just losing their minds, their ever loving minds. And I love it. Jermaine is here. Where have you doing? Jermaine, haven't seen you in a while. I know you're working hard. And I understand people. Um, I'm glad when you can make it, when you can't. I understand. Life. Bills have to be paid. Work has to be conducted. Yes. Um, But a lot of you, I do thank you because you do go back when you get time. And I see you leave the comments. Hey, I'm part of the replay gang. I'm here. So I really, really appreciate that. Um, and so never, ever forget that. Okay. And again, there's several other people here. They just have not said anything. So that is fine. We're glad you're here, regardless. So look at this subject matter. Now, if you're familiar with this, please type it in the comment section. They are each day that passes, nothing is shocking me anymore. I am just like, what are these people going to do? We have to deal with this for 4 years? Really? They need to get themselves together. The election is over. Isn't that what you told us when you stole the last election? You told us to get over it. So that would be my suggestion to you as well. Peter, I'll be multitasking tonight, but listening. Hey, great. Glad you're here, love. Baldwin Birds, how are you? Mirror, mirror on the wall. What Democrats are the most angry of them all? Oh, truth bomb. Baldwin Birds. It's hard to decide. OMG. Woo. They are all just, and you can see the hate come out in them. They are just showing their hands. Um, and I love it. And again, they will never ever win another election. I mean, people are seeing them for what they truly are. And I love it. And um, I'm glad more and more Americans are waking up and they're looking at the waste, the fraud, the abuse that has been taking place. And I'm sorry, folks. Sorry, not sorry. Use that money on Americans. You know me, those of you who've been here on the channel for a while. Zelly, how you doing, love? Um, yeah, all I can say is there are millions of Americans who are suffering. So, yes, DJ, arrogance defined. Facts. And so that's just where we are with that. Tina, how you doing, love? Yes, Tina's back. All right, the gang, the gang's all here. All right, Tijuana border jumper, Jasmine Croc, Tijuana. She has lost her mind. I mean, they are, when you see them talking, they're shouting, they're cursing, they're upset, they're angry. Tijuana border jumper, you were not here last night, and those of you who were not, I talked about them becoming unhinged, and guess what? I love it. Those of you who were not here, I just dropped the link. You need to check that out. I mean, and I'm going to share, I have a video for you. But they are just, woo. And the video I'm going to share with you tonight, and Maxine Waters, to me, was really antagonizing this gentleman who was standing there blocking the entrance. They were trying to enter the building, of course, the Department of Education. We already know that Trump is shutting it down. Thank you so much, Tijuana border jumper, for the super chat. Trump pushed him over the edge. Tijuana, yes. I am flooding the comment section with hearts. They are all for you, love. Thank you so much for your support. Monique, yes, he's priceless. Ruby, how you doing, love? The gang's all here, and I love it. And again, folks, let me say before we get started, I don't take it lightly that you spend your time. Time is very valuable, and there are thousands of other content creators. You could be there at their channels. You choose to continue to come back here, and it is very much appreciated. Just wanted to let you know. Florida, thank you, channel manager. Okay, so let me share this first video with you. Hit that like button, folks. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And they are just totally unhinged. Now, when you watch this first part of this video, let me know. It's like she was trying to get a negative reaction out of this man, probably so she could say, see, look, racist. And he wouldn't give her. He was, I guess he's been instructed, and she's an older lady, and she probably wanted him to lash out at her, curse at her. It's like she was trying to provoke him. So I want you to watch this video and tell me what your thought process is. Zelly, Tim Keene is very well known in New York City for drinking heavily. Saying Maxine Waters in the hotel industry. There's a lot to say about these two clowns. Exactly. And I'm sorry, but the Shady Pines is still open, and that's where they need to go. And take Mitch McConnell with you and a few other names. Oh, my God. All right, so here we go, folks. Let me play this video. And to me, she was antagonizing this man. And to me, she was trying to provoke a response. Let me know what you think. How you doing, Linda? We're glad you're here, love. Laurie said Maxine needs to go to Shady Pines and take the rest of the Democrats with her. Laurie. Laurie gets it. Linda, hi, Rolynn and friends. A long time since I've been able to catch her live. Maxine is out of her mind and needs to go. Linda, we were just talking about that, love. She needs to go like yesterday, okay? I am so sick of her with all of this posturing. She's just like the Congressional Black Caucus. That's one thing. I wish Trump would get rid of the Congressional Black Caucus, since he's getting rid of committees and organizations and things where, with all the wasted money. Because it seems to me in my research, that they were created to help Black Americans. They're only helping immigrants. They're trying to get, they don't like what he's doing. They're against the immigration policy that Trump has. So you're not representing me. They need to be disbanded. If you agree that the Congressional Black Caucus needs to be disbanded, type yes in the comment section, folks. I just dropped another truth bomb. They are a joke. Ruby, Mad Max, I was looking for a viral moment and she got it. Another dumb moment in time. Yes. She was deliberately trying to provoke this man so she could say, see, it's like she was trying to get him to curse at her or hit her so that, you know, she would have her viral moment. See, look, this white man, he's racist. He hit me. Lady, get out of here. No one's listening to your cry of white supremacy and racism. Go back to your $1 million mansion in your gated communities. No one's listening to you folks anymore. You are the true elites. Stop it. Laurie said yes. Katie, yes. Tijuana Border, yes. I'm sick of these people. Doreen, she cannot wear that wig in prison. Doreen. Trump is a trip. When he said that James Brown wig, I'll never forget. Oh my God, that is hilarious. I love it. Maya's sister is not disbanded, but precisely classified as Black Immigrant Caucus. Maya, I want them to be disbanded, Maya. They do not represent, they were created allegedly to assist and help Black Americans. They don't do anything for Black Americans. They're the Black Bole, the Black gatekeepers. They only do for immigrants. So they need to go. If I had my way, they'd be gone too. The clown was trying to share. Florida, that's what she was exactly. She was trying to provoke a negative response, but he did not give her the time of day. I love it. Doreen, no, they don't. They were created to help Black America. They only help immigrants. They don't help Black America. Get out of here. That's the hair hooligan Maxine. Yes, I loved how that security guard shut her down. She isn't used to anyone standing up to her big mouth. Linda, truth bomb. Yes. Oh my God. So let's listen to this one. I have this. I'm playing this, and then there's a guy. He's going to give you his commentary because he knows he's sick of them too, and he's pretty good. And I shared his link down in the description box as well. Right, Ruby. The Congressional Black Caucus represents the rainbow community, right, and immigrants. Hello. Thank you. So stop saying you represent Black America because you do not. Okay, so here we go. How you doing, Topeka Atkins Grieve, Mother Corner? How you doing? Yeah, she's trying to start January, an insurrection. Yeah, she's trying to get some crap started. They all are because they're angry. They're sour. All right, here we go.
Look them in the eye. Come on, hold your face up. Look at them. Let them see you. This is him. Look at it. What's your name? Tell us your name. Give me that ID again.
I showed you the ID. I showed it to you.
So what?
I showed you the ID.
You do what?
I showed you the ID.
Could you let me see the ID again? Huh?
No.
No? Will someone else ask him for the ID? Will you ask him for it? He won't let me see it again. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. They didn't see it. Are you prepared to stand here all night if we decide to stay?
I guess, yeah.
All right, well, you just stay right there. You just stay and stay.
Why are you letting us go to that desk like we were able to do last year?
No, he's not. He's not a U.S. employee.
This is a public
Did
institution.
Elon Musk hire you?
Who do you work for?
Who do you work for?
Are you not aware of? Are you even?
Who do you work for?
Yeah, I'm a federal employee working for the education.
Meanwhile.
Thanks for joining us on Breaking the News. Let's talk
Now, before we go over some of these test scores, those of you who've been here on the channel for a while, you know I have ranted and I have raved. And you know, I say what I can. I am still working for the public school system. So obviously I'm not at liberty to say everything that I want to say, but I support Trump. The Department of Education needs to be shut down. Yes, Bill ABC TV, how you doing? MAGA Maniac, how you doing? Yeah, they were treating him like garbage. If the shoe were on the other foot, they'd be all over social media. Oh, this white supremacist was talking. Look how nasty he talked to me. And I'm Maxine Waters. And look at how they treated me. Look at how you're treating someone else. So anyway, like I said, folks, let's be real. Let's go ahead and call it what it is. Public schools here in America, it's big business. They have a monopoly over, okay, the educational system. Now, supposedly monopolies are supposed to be illegal in America. We know that is not the case. Now, if this were a business, let me call out one of my favorite stores when I was a kid, Kmart. We know what happened to Kmart. If you are not performing up to par, if you can't keep up, you lose. You get shut down. Something else pops up. Boom. You're irrelevant. What happened to Kmart? Kmart would not change. I mean, it breaks my heart because I have lots of, good memories when I was a kid. They wouldn't change. Even in the 90s and early 2000s, you go into a Kmart, their stores look like you just walked into the 1970s. Someone like me, I loved it, but most people were like, no, they need to update. They didn't update. What happened? Walmart came on the scene. And then, of course, all these Dollar General, Family Dollar, Dollar Store, you don't change, you get left behind. That's exactly what happened. That is why Democrats fight so hard to keep. They don't want the voucher system. Kids who are in high poverty areas, come on, folks, you know the statistics. They get the worst teachers. They have the worst materials, everything. Okay. Your zip code matters. I can tell you where I teach here in North Carolina, one county over is Wake County, big bucks. State capital is Raleigh in Wake County. So I think, if you compare the education that a student gets there, say to a smaller county, you're comparing apples and oranges, folks. That kid in Wake County is going to get a better education than, say, a kid in Warren County, North Carolina, one of the poorest counties in the state. We call it what it is. Yes, Barnes, I missed the blue light special. Is that little Tiff? Sorry, that's Mad Max. Yeah, they're both nuts, though, James. They're both nuts. I'll be talking about Tiff again tomorrow. I noticed. How you doing, Rita? When I talk about anything serious, people don't watch. As soon as I jump on and start talking about the super mayor, oh my God, 8,000, 10,000 views. But I'm still talking about this subject matter because this is important. And I've talked about this forever. Okay. And again, when I retire from teaching, which I can actually do in another year or so, I plan on writing a book and exposing everything. Me too, Magic. And so the Department of Education needs to be shut down, folks. When Trump first started talking about that, oh my God, people were like, oh no, it needs to be shut down. It's a joke. All right. Listen to this, folks.
Education, because the report cards are in and they are not looking great for national test scores for our K-12 students. The scores, most of you remember us talking about it, they took a nosedive during COVID, but many in education were hoping they would bounce back by this year especially, but it's just not happening yet.
Education Department, why nominate Linda McMahon to be the Education Department Secretary if you're going to get rid of the Education Department?
Because I told Linda, I hope you do a great job and put yourself out of a job. I want her to put herself out of a job. Education Department. So we're ranked number 40 out of 40 schools, right? We're ranked number 1 in cost per pupil. So we spend more per pupil than any other country.
He meant to say so far as industrialized countries, I mean, and every year we're falling further and further behind. We're never going to compete because we want everyone to be put in the same. Okay. Now, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And even though this person is in the 10th grade and reading on a 6th grade level, you throw them in with everyone else. It's broken. The system is broken. It's been broken for years. I told you, if you go back and look at some of my older videos, the public schools in America have been failing for 50 years plus. This is nothing new here, folks. Nothing new. Here we go.
Country in the world, and we're ranked at the bottom of the list. We're ranked very badly. And what I want to do is let the states run schools. I believe strongly in school choice. But in addition to that, I want the states to run schools. And I want Linda to put herself out of a job.
So do you think that's something you can do with an executive order?
I'd like to be able to do it. I'd like to be able to do it. Look, if I could give the schools back to Iowa and Idaho and Indiana and all these places that run properly, there's many of them. I think. So if you look at the list, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, believe it or not, China's doing very well on that list, a list of well-educated, where they run their school system well. You have a lot of countries, not surprising names. I think that if you moved our schools into some of these states that are really well-run states, they would be as good as Denmark and Norway and Sweden and some of the other states. And then you'd have the laggards, and you know who they are. I don't have to go to it, but you'd have the laggards, the same laggards that are laggards with everything else, including crime.
And for people that don't know who he's talking about, of course, he's talking about those blue states. Yeah. And Rita, you got it. Chicago Teachers Union tried hard to get that contract passed before Trump shut it down. And that's one, Rita, if you look at all of the blue states and the large blue cities, they have the worst scores, test scores. But those teachers unions, they run the public school system in those particular areas. So what he's talking about, they would continue to lag because it's not about the student, it's about the teacher. And honestly, if I tell the truth about the situation, I've been saying that for years, even here in this state, it's about everything else except the student. And that's a problem. Ask me. I'm not an outsider. I'm an insider, and I've done this for 27 years. I've worked for more than one school district here in this state. I'm telling you what I've seen, not what I've been told. Oh, okay. Tijuana border jumper. I learned to read with SRA in my school. Okay, dear. King Shaw, California. Vote out Maxine Waters, please. King Shaw, you were not here. I said she needs to go to Shady Pines, love. She really does. I am so sick of her. Why won't some of these people are in their 80s, all pushing 90s. Some of them are 70s, pushing 80s. Go enjoy the rest of your life. I mean, what the heck? Come on. We need new people. We need younger people with new fresh ideas. Someone there 40, 50, 60 years. Go home. Oh, okay, here we go.
But even them, you'll break it into systems. As an example, if you went to New York, you go to Westchester County, you go to Dutchess County, you go to Suffolk and Long Island and Nassau and Long Island. You have maybe 6 or 7 locations. And you have New York City, which would include the 5 boroughs. And I think even that would run much better than it does right now. Same thing with Los Angeles or California. You'd have Riverside. You'd break it up into 6 or 7, but most of them would be states, and you'd have one. Like in Iowa, you give it to the state of Iowa. You give it to the state of Indiana. These are really well-run states. They don't have debt. They don't have problems. They don't have any crimes, relatively speaking, to speak of. And you would have education that would be the equivalent of Norway and Denmark and various other places that are at the top of the list. So we're at the bottom of the list, and we're the most expensive. We're at the top of the list when it comes to cost per pupil. We spend more money per pupil than any other nation in the world, and yet we're rated number 40. The last ratings came out, you saw them. So they talk about 40 countries. We're rated number 40. And I say that if we did this, we would we would go 20, 30 notches up. We could do great.
Okay.
And we would have some of the best districts in the world.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel.
And so, yeah, and as I'm playing this video, I'm trying to keep up with your comments. Those of you who may have questions in reference to the current state of public education. Thank you, Wilson, for saying this show is important. And I told you, I say as much as I can. I'm not at liberty to say as much as I choose to because I am still teaching in the public schools. But I'm just telling you, when I tell you things, they're things that I have witnessed. And if anyone tells you public schools, the number one goal, is to teach or educate that child, that's a bald-faced lie. It's about everything else. And somewhere, maybe before you get to the number 10, that's when you throw the student in. It's not about the student. It's about politics. It's about butts and seats. That's why they'll get rid of high rigorous courses to get some easy course where they can just dump a bunch of people in. I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that go on that most of you don't have a clue about, but I'll tell you. Yes, Wilson, and I love it, love. Hit those of you just coming in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are glad you are here. Yes, here you go. And this guy right here has excellent commentary. He calls these Democrats on their nonsense as well. Jackie, how you doing, love?
Channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, we are in a situation where the Democratic Party, from coast to coast, are in an uproar, are in a moment of upheaval, and they don't know what to do because Donald Trump 2.0 is coming on so strong. Not only with Donald Trump himself, but with J.D. Vance as the vice president, with Elon Musk as the first buddy. They don't know what to do with it. They've never faced a situation like this before, so they are acting erratically. They're scrambling. And on the brink of what Elon Musk has uncovered with his staff over at USAID.
Yep.
He has hinted on his X platform that he is now eyeing the Department of Education. Well, Donald Trump has appointed an administrator of the Department of Education, and he says, okay, well, Miss McMahon, if you do a good job, you won't have a job. How is that, y'all? That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. Well, if you do a good job, you will dissolve this department. It will be no more, and you will be out of a job by doing a good job. Well, that's what she's faced with. And these people, these elected officials, these congressmen and women who have sat there on their hands during the Joe Biden administration during COVID and done nothing, nothing effectual.
That's right.
They are now saying, oh, well, we need to get into the Department of Education. We need to make noise. We need to meet with somebody. We need a meeting. We need to enact change in this department. No, it's too late. Because the American people, thanks to social media, thanks to platforms like X, thank God Elon Musk overpaid for that platform and exposed the truth. Because now everybody can see what's going on.
Yep.
And thanks to him and his team going in there with Doge and uncovering some things, we can say, hey, there's a good chance, there's a likelihood that if you crawl through the records of the Department of Education, you're going to find waste, fraud, and abuse. Let's shut it down because we are paying more per pupil than any other country that is monitored. And yet we are ranked last amongst all the countries that are monitored. Why is that? That Americans are falling behind in reading, writing, and arithmetic. I bet if you had some kind of measurement for American students in social initiatives, for transgenderism and transformerism,
we'd be number one. Truth about, and this is what I was mentioning to you earlier. It's about everything. But reading, writing, and math. Now, most of you know the course that I teach food science, which is an honors course. I teach animal science. I've taught honors biotechnology as well. I teach agri-science. My courses are considered CTE. Those of you who are Generation X and above, My baby boomers back in the day, they called them vocational courses, right? So basically, our kids get certifications. We help, I help students get jobs, things like that. Steve, yes, USAID is just the tip of the iceberg. Yes, Tina, Elon Musk paid for commercials during the Super Bowl to expose everything that he has. Yeah, oh yeah. Barnes Homestead and channels like this have made a difference. Thank you so much, Barnes. Barnes, I'm trying to expose, and again, I don't want to say too much. I don't want my superintendent. I don't want someone to share this video, and then my superintendent's calling me downtown. What's this about? Oh yeah, I can't wait until the IRS, those 80,000, and this is what I love as well. Those 80,000 additional, 86,000, 87,000 additional IRS workers that Biden, that dirty old man that he hired to put on us so that they could just squeeze us, just every ounce of blood out of us so he could continue to fund these failing policies. And Trump said, those IRS workers, hey, they can go down and work at the border. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Woo! So yes, the Arena Uncensored with the tax bracket that I'm in, I can't wait. So this guy, listen to what this guy is saying. He is calling it out, and I agree with him 100%. Hit the like button, please, folks. Here we go.
With pink and blue and purple haired teachers, I bet we'd come in number one on that.
Yep.
And yet we're spending so much money per student and they can't read.
Nope.
Anybody who does the work that I do in the hood, in the community, they can't read.
And this is the sad thing about it, folks. And this is what really angers me. A lot of them can't read and they have no inclination, don't choose to. I have had students. Now, remember, I teach high school. Thank you so much, Caesar, for the super chat. I just sent some hearts in the comment section just for you, love. Thank you so much. I have students. T-Rob, shut it down. Yes, T-Rob. I have students. Sometimes if I give them an assignment that requires reading, they'll say, I don't read. They'll take a 0. Sometimes, some assignments, there may be a short passage that you have to read so you can complete the assignment. They're like, oh, no, I don't read. Okay. Hey, Tina, Miss Rolynn, we will say it for you so you don't get in trouble. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, you guys say all you want in the chat section. But when I retire from teaching, when I write my book, I'll have everything in there. I'll be what they call a whistleblower, because then I won't be beholden to anyone. So, but yeah, everything, when you hear someone saying, I just told a gentleman the other day, now I've been teaching since 1996. That's when I finished grad school. And thank you so much, Caesar. And what I tell people, we've been hearing since the 90s, since I started teaching. I started teaching 96. Yes, Wilson. The black males have the highest suspension rates. And you look in the news, people don't read the newspapers like they used to, but it's all over social media. If you ask me, honestly, like I tell people, sometimes I'll see, black Americans out in public talking, and I'll say, hey, and I'll interject. I'll say, look, I'll be real with you. The Arena says my niece has a master's in wokeness. Arena, I'm so sorry. So they're saying that the schools, and those of you who've been here for a while, you've heard me say every time the school is creating the pipeline from the school to the prison. I haven't created anything. That's bad parenting. If you have children and don't raise them properly where they know, about boundaries and respect, that has nothing to do with me. Linda, my grandson is 19 years old and he is white and he is not able to read cursive. Oh my God, Linda. That would drive me nuts. Tina, it's embarrassing to me to be American and know that we're number 40. Yeah, and we're dropping every year, Tina, because again, it's about wokeness. And they're being indoctrinated. They're not being educated, being indoctrinated and brainwashed. And then when they go to college, they take that same crap with them. Thank you, Tina. Thank you so much, love. All right, here we go.
Yo, I'm about to publish a book right now, and the people that I want to read it can't read it. Yo, this is a faith-based channel, and we know that even though we push certain things and we try to get y'all to read your Bibles, but we know a certain percentage of the community can't read at all. So how you gonna try to convince them to read all those complicated words in the Bible? And they can't read the basic words. Huh. Thanks to America's education system. Hey.
And don't forget, we know the Democrats want you done. That's why everything's been so dumbed down. That's what they want. You're easier to manipulate. You're easier to gaslight. If you are intelligent, you can see right through that crap. In other words, if you have more than 2 brain cells, like all of us here in the chat section on the Rolyn's Reviews YouTube channel. I just dropped another truth bomb.
Who you gonna point to for that? America's Department of Education, the federal government. Well, let's send American education back to the states so that we can say in states like mine in California, where y'all have eliminated the arts programs, where you gotta pay to be a part of the school band. And then you go to a state right across the border to Nevada. You go a little ways down to Arizona, and they got those programs that are still thriving. Let's leave it to the states, and you're going to find out quickly, swiftly. States that are interested in educating your children, and the states that are interested in socializing your children and transforming your children. Yeah, reading, writing, and arithmetic have taken a back seat to transformerism, at least in my state. It makes you want to send your kids to another state, and that is the choice we have as Americans. That is federalism, y'all. Leave it to the states. And the states that want to burn themselves down, figuratively or literally, like California, let them burn.
Yep.
And the states that want to thrive, let them thrive. That's where we are in this country, and I'm glad that we have entered a new political season where people will be exposed to the truth.
New federal data shows that reading scores among American children and preteens have hit record lows. The 2024 National Assessment of Educational Process.
Okay, I'll pause that so you can take time to look at those graphs. Tijuana Border Jumper, thank you so much, love, for the super chat. How can you be woke if you can't read the word woke? Tijuana. Tijuana, I'm sending you some hearts in the comment section. Woo, Tijuana, you be good. All right. Babies in. How you doing? How you doing, babies? I think you're new here. Do me a favor, hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. We're glad you're here. Everyone see those statistics, and it gets worse every year. And don't even talk about, like, again, you talk about going to some of these blue cities. I mean, Baltimore. I need to pull that statistic up. Oh my gosh. Baltimore, Philadelphia. I could go on. They are the worst. Tina, I agree with getting the states more involved with the kids, but we need to get the parents more involved with the kids. Tina, that's an issue. And they, for years, they have us in all kinds of workshops, all kinds of seminars. Hey, I can't do it all. I am not a miracle worker. Okay? Educationally speaking, yes, the arena, yes. The high poverty areas, yes. The high poverty areas, you don't get the best teachers. And again, Philadelphia's a blue city. The teachers unions run everything up north. We know that. Here in North Carolina, we don't have a teachers union. Okay? So I think you guys, if you've had long enough to see that, I'll go ahead and yes, Linda. Linda knows. All right, here we go.
Known as the nation's report card, found that 33% of eighth graders have below basic reading skills. It's the highest percentage in the test's 32-year history. And that number rises to 40% among fourth graders, marking the most in 20 years for that age group. Laura Meckler joins us now. She's a national education writer for the Washington Post. So is this drop largely due to lost classroom time during the pandemic? Are there other factors?
Well, it's hard to blame it completely on the pandemic at this point. It certainly does trace to the pandemic.
These scores were abysmal prior to the pandemic, so that's not an excuse. I'll continue.
That's when we really saw scores drop. But what we're also measuring is that there's a big drop since 2022. So by 2022, school was more or less back to normal. And yet there was still a drop in most ways that this was measured between 2022 and 2024.
If your HVAC unit.
And again, I told you, especially the blue cities, hit the like button for me, please. OMG. It is, oh my, I mean, it's crazy. Okay, let me get rid of this commercial so you can see the rest of it. Hold on.
Despite a surge in funding, Baltimore City student test scores remain among the lowest in the nation.
That according to results released by the federal government. As Project Baltimore's Chris Papps explains, these scores have renewed calls for city school CEO to be replaced. Keep in mind, these NAEP scores were released at a time when city schools' budget is skyrocketing. Last year, when the NAEP test was given, the school district's budget was $1.7 billion, up $400 million since 2020.
Baltimore City recorded the fourth lowest score in the nation among the 26 large districts tested, which is consistent with where the school system has historically ranked.
The fact that we were the fourth worst is embarrassing.
And folks, these are democratically run cities. Regardless of the side of the fence that you're on, you can't do anything with these facts. Okay? Facts are facts. So, and they're the ones, these gatekeepers, they're the ones who fight to keep the vouchers out. They don't want people to have access to a better education. They want to continue to run these failing public schools so they can keep their cushy jobs. Tell me what you think about it, folks. And I've often said, because I remember when I finished up college and they had people here coming from all over looking for teachers. And I told people, I don't care how much they're paying in Baltimore. I would never, ever go there to teach. I would never go to Chicago to teach. You can't pay me enough. I need my peace of mind more than I need that money. Okay. Yes, Wilson. CJ Parks, how you doing, love? Steve, the most important thing is to learn to read and not stop. Steve, the sad thing is a lot of the students have no interest in learning. They're just there. Tina, it is heartbreaking. Me as an educator, for my own peace of mind, I had to, when I first started teaching, you know how it is, you're fresh out of college and you're going to change the world and you're going to do this and that. To save yourself mentally and so that you don't wind up in a rubber room somewhere, you have to separate. Okay, I can help this group of students over here. These people right here don't want to learn. So just sit there and be quiet. I'll put your zeros in. Okay, good. And I've contacted the parents. I'll let them know when I can get in contact with the parents. And I don't worry about it. I sleep well at night. I help the ones that want to learn. And I'm a mentor teacher since I have, I am obviously been doing this for a while. So I have three teachers that I mentor at my school. And they're new, fresh, fresh to the profession. And I tell them, look, you're going to burn yourself out because, well, this child, she won't do this or he won't do that. And I'm like, and you can't make them. And sometimes you call the parents and tell them, and they're like, well, I can't do, they're doing the same thing at home. What am I supposed to do as an educator? And they don't want you to suspend but so many, and especially if they're Black. Oh God, it's going to be in the newspaper, on social media. You have a high percentage of Black students who are suspended, as if we in the school system is picking on Black males and Black females, and we are not. Don't get me started on that, because I'll have you here all night. Listen to this.
And it should be embarrassing to everyone that lives here in Baltimore.
City Schools, in this release, mentions 8th grade math scores largely held steady since 2022. In fact, they were unchanged at 245. But again, what North Avenue does not mention is that that score also is the 4th lowest in the nation. In reading, City Schools tells the public, performance holds steady, which is true. 4th grade reading scores rose 1 point since 2022, while 8th grade reading scores fell 1 point. But similar to math, those results place Baltimore City among the lowest performing districts in the country, which is omitted from this press release. Instead, City Schools writes, the district's focus and investment in high-quality curriculum and instruction contributed to noteworthy results.
I got a little nauseous on that one.
Y'all, I heard some.
Okay, I have to address a couple of these comments because some of you have some excellent questions and statements. Steve said, you cannot teach people who are unwilling to learn. Steve, exactly. I'm not wasting my time. If you have no interest in learning, fine, just sit there and be quiet. That's all I ask. Ruby, the pandemic did not help. What a fiasco. Ruby, you're absolutely right. Donovan, Rolynn, we complain about the government educating our kids. So what is stopping us from educating them ourselves? Good point. I often tell people, if I had children, they would not be in public schools. No way. Tina, it is heartbreaking. U.S. Army has an excellent point. My children grew up, for the most part, in DOD schools. Of course, that's Department of Defense. When I retired, they transferred to public education and were so bored because they were 5 to 6 years ahead of the civilian students. And I'm just going to tell you what it is too, folks. Now, DOD schools, private schools, you're going to get, in the charter schools, you're going to get the cream of the crop. And it is what it is. And so, what do we do? How you doing, Lanita? Greetings to you as well. CJ Parks, how are you? Tina, those are babysitters, not right, Tina. And some people think that we are, and I let them know, no, I'm not a babysitter. I didn't go to college for all those years to be a babysitter. Where are we here? I'm trying to keep up with you, folks. When I decided to go to college, this is from Lori, I knew there was a lot of reading assignments. I haven't stopped reading. Lori, it's so foreign to me because I'm an avid reader. I love reading. So when I hear students, I don't like reading. I'm like, what? Come on. It's heartbreaking to me as an educator. All right, here we go.
Somebody opined the other day and said that Donald Trump is the master at putting himself on the 80 side of 80-20 situations, discussions, circumstances. And he says, okay, well, if I put myself on this 80 side, yes, I'm going to be opposed by the 20 side, but I am on the majority side. Yeah, I get that argument. I understood it. I heard it for what it was. But the truth of the matter is, y'all, the American populace, the American people are on a certain side of these social arguments. And I understand that Democrats don't want to believe it. They don't want to acknowledge it. Ain't nobody buying what you're selling. Ain't nobody picking up what you're putting down. You are trying to castrate our boys. You are trying to cut the breast off our girls. You are trying to incorporate males into girls' sports. You are trying to put males into girls' restrooms and girls' locker rooms. Y'all are so demented that you are trying to upset the apple cart of American standards. And we, as taxpaying Americans, we see it for what it is. We are fighting against it. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to let you get away with it. So Call it 80-20, call it whatever you want. We call it Trump 2.0 with Elon Musk as the best buddy. We are going to uncover your foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to expose it for all the world to see, not just Americans, but for all the world to see how corrupt this American government has been over my lifetime. And we are going to take corrective action. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right, let me get rid of the commercial. Yeah, some more interesting comments. Ruby, the hypocrisy is many teachers and administrators have their kids in private school. Yes, Ruby. As I would, it is, most people don't have an inkling or a clue of what we have to deal with on a daily basis. Let me get rid of this commercial and then we'll keep going here. Hold on. U.S. Army. I read that. I need to read some. You guys have some really good statements. Thank you, Zelly. We need more teachers like you. Thank you, love. Lanita, I taught 27 years in Dallas. Oh, yeah. Lanita's a retired educator as well. Thank you for your service. Exactly right, Rolynn. I've seen new teachers quit because the children were so bad and parents are unhinged. Administrators put the blame on teachers and so many just give up. Yes, exactly. I mean, your administration is everything. If you don't have support, Maya sisters, Rolynn, I am a college instructor. I spend significant amounts of time documenting student missing work as a defensive mechanism to explain to my dean why students fail the class. Maya sisters, it's the same thing in the public schools. When students fail some kind of way, you have to sort of keep documentation, or they're going to think it's a failure on your part, or they're going to make it like it's your fault. CJ Parks, Elon posted on his X account that they found like 134 breaches at the Department of Education. He asked if the Democrats even mentioned anything about people's information being compromised. Of course they didn't, CJ. Of course not. Yes, Wilson, you're right. Ever since the Department of Education, yeah, they did. What's that movie, Dumb and Dumber, that Jim Carrey movie? That's what it is, Dumb and Dumber. JP, thanks for being here, love. I'm glad you're learning something new. Babies, I retired in 2012 and schools were getting rid of cursive. So sad. My students wanted to learn, so I continued teaching it anyway. Parents were happy. Good, baby N. Okay. Donovan, I graduated high school from a Dodds school, and compared to my peers stateside, I was so far ahead of them and took more classes. Very true. Dodds is a private school. Yes, Donovan, and they don't have to deal with the shenanigans that we in the public school have to deal with. They're not dealing with students sitting there with ankle monitors on and students running up and down the hallways with their cell phones, and you say something to them and they're, leave me alone, or they're cursing at you, or they're cursing at the principal, or they're cursing at the assistant principal. They don't deal with the nonsense. Okay, they don't. And like I said, a lot of these kids, they think it's all fun and games now. When they get out here and the police officer gives them a command and they act the same way they did when they were in school, I'm not marching. Okay? Everything's a joke until it's not. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Again, it starts at home. You have to teach your children about boundaries. You have to teach them right from wrong. Stop teaching them if a white person says something to them, it's because they're black and the white person is racist. You are setting your child up for failure. I just dropped another truth bomb, folks. Stop it. Ruby, yes. Yes. So I may have little Mary over here in the corner trying to learn, and I'm sitting over here with Mike with the ankle monitor on. And only God knows what he's done. We're dealing with kids. You want to know, I'm telling you some of the things we have to deal with. They go out here, they get in trouble with the law. They go to juvenile detention. When they go in front of the judge, what does the judge tell them? You go back to school or you're coming back here to juvenile detention. So they don't come there to learn. They come there and cause problems and wreak havoc. But they are there because the judge sent them back. Tell me I'm wrong. Wilson, yes, the truth matters. No one is picking on Black children. I am so sick of that narrative. I'm sick of the white supremacy. I'm sick of the systemic racism being the problem. I told you, and I'll tell you again, I was at a school where the principal was white. And I don't make these stories up. These are things that have actually happened. You know, in a 27-year career, you've seen and heard a lot. A Black woman, her daughter got in trouble. They wound up, she came up to the school. They went into the principal's office. The daughter was getting ready to explain to her mother what happened. Her mother told her, nope, don't say anything. He's white. You're Black. You can't win. Ma'am, that is bad parenting. You are setting your child up for failure. That is why when the police, if she gets out there and the police tells her to stop, she's not going to stop. Then she's going to get in trouble. It's because of the lies you have told her. Stop it. Maya sisters, Lanita, at a technical college in my state, at 50 to 60% is a C. Maya, we were on the 7-point scale, but our kids are getting so dumb we had to go to the 10-point, and they're still talking. Hey, I heard they were talking about changing it again. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. And that's just what it is, folks. We deal with a lot of nonsense. They don't deal with that crap in Japan. Someone comes in acting crazy, cursing. They don't deal with that. You know, in Japan and China, they start very early. They take the smartest, the cream of the crop. They put them on a path. The ones that aren't so smart, they put them on another path. Hey, it is what it is. Caesar, many coaches have stopped volunteering to coach youth sports for the same reasons. The kids and the parents are totally out of control. Caesar, yes, they are. I've had a white teacher, a friend of mine. She wanted to say something to one of her Black students, but she was like, she's going to say I'm racist. I said, well, she won't say that about me. I went to her classroom, and because I had an excellent relationship with this young lady, and I said, come here a second. I called her out in the hallway, and I said, what's your problem? And, well, I said, go in there, sit down and shut your mouth. I don't want to hear it. Case closed. No more problems. So, again, you see where this starts, folks. You've heard me say this several times, just like with the super mayor, right? How you doing, Topeka Atkins Grieve Mother Corner? How you doing? And so the victimhood, okay, they're a victim. They haven't done anything wrong. I've seen a Black student, not just Black. I'm just saying this is what you see on the news and this is what you hear about. When a white teacher sometimes says something to a Black student, and now this is socioeconomic too. If they have parents or mothers that have told them they're racist, they don't like you because you're Black, they disrespect the white teachers. That's bad parenting. Those same kids, when an officer gives them a command, they disrespect them. What have they been told by their mother? Usually their mothers. A lie. You set your own children up for failure. I've seen it, folks. I have seen it. Now, I was talking with old Sergeant Major at my school. He's since retired. And it shouldn't matter. He was white, and we walk for exercise every morning. And we both agreed. Now it's socioeconomic. Black Americans, and I told you most of my students are military because I'm here at Fort Bragg and Pope Air Force Base. And if you look at it socially and social economics, Black Americans, parents in the military, they're doing well. We don't have the same amount of problems with them. Now, if you look at the lower socioeconomic, and I know people don't want to hear this, but I'm just giving you facts. That's where the problems are. But if you compare, Wilson said, Marcus Jordan just found out what, yes, sir. Wilson, you're right. And so if you compare people on the lower socioeconomic, it's the same thing with white students and Black students on the lower end. Overall, on average, we have more problems with that demographic. Socioeconomics, folks. And so it is what it is. And Wilson, I didn't have a chance to read the whole story, but I need to check that out. What was he arrested for exactly? Let this continue.
Live at the Department of Education, members of Congress, they're being denied entry into the building. The doors are locked. There's a security guard there. I'm guessing that's who's in the brown, tan looking shirt, but we don't know for sure. They're having a tense conversation.
We're doing our job. We're trying to say.
Kind of want to listen in for a second here.
Show them your ID.
Were you told to stand here, or did you decide to stand here and block members of Congress from entering the Department of Education?
To federal buildings. We're allowed in there.
So a private security contractor is blocking members of Congress.
Maybe you didn't understand.
A private security contractor is making the decision to block members of Congress from a public access entrance.
I don't think he knows.
You have the authority as a private security contractor to block members of Congress. That has been knighted and granted to you.
You have to at least let us go to the desk.
Yeah.
Too many goons out. Oh my. Who told you to do this? Open the door. So do you understand who members of Congress are? Well, you don't who are we then? You don't care. We have a job to do. We're not dangerous people. We're not, I don't know, security. There are no thieves and thugs out here. We're members of Congress.
With
identification. We're teachers.
There's our ID right there.
You were elected.
This is our job.
This is our job. We're doing our job.
Oh, wow. So you're securing this building against who?
Members of Congress.
Who are you protecting?
Members of the People's
So
House.
this is the beginning of full transparency of this administration. The administration that talked about they're going to open the doors to all of these things and show the American public what is going on. They won't even open the door to this building, to members of Congress. We are not posing any threat here. We are not dangerous people. We have not done anything. We're trying to request a meeting, and they have a private security contractor who on his own is making decisions on behalf of the Department of Education. We are members of Congress at the
What you're saying is they're not, they allow billionaires and his minions to come in
I don't
to
know
this
who
building.
he is. I don't know who he is, but I know who I am. And I'm a member of Congress with oversight responsibilities trying to request a meeting, and a private security contractor is not allowing me to enter the building.
They allow billionaires to go in this building, but not the people's representatives. They allow billionaires and their cronies to go in, but not, there's a lack of transparency here. Members of Congress, the people's representatives are not allowed in. This is not transparent.
They're locking our kids out.
Yeah.
Well, not only are they not letting us in, now they've called the Department of the Homeland Security. We are members of Congress here to talk with the Department of Education, and they're treating
The
us.
kids deserve to have us go in and fight for them.
This is appalling.
The children of this country deserve that battle.
This is a public institution. This is not Russia. Let the camera see him. Let the camera see him. Who is he? This man here. We are members of Congress. Come in. They're blocking us. See this man here, who is
a federal employee, he told us.
he's not.
Are you a federal employee?
No.
Huh?
Yes.
No, he said he's a federal employee. We pay him. We raise money to make sure that we have a Department of Education. Everybody that's hired at the Department of Education are here because we pay for them to be here. He's standing here today, blocking the door, and he can't give us a good reason why he's blocking this door.
Make sure they see right here. All access entrance.
Well, and I think it should be clear to parents in the United States, if you want to advocate on behalf of your children, you are not allowed to come into this building where you pay taxes. Parents who have children who are disabled, access is being blocked. You voted for members of Congress to advocate on behalf of your children. Children with disabilities, for young women who have been victims of sexual assault in our classrooms, on our school grounds. Members of OCR are fighting for your children. We are not allowed in the building to talk to them. We are not allowed to advocate on behalf of America's children. America, we have a problem.
Yeah, you've been advocating for children so well. That's why each year we're number 40 out of industrialized nations and counting. Each year we're losing ground, but you're there to advocate for children. Get out of here, ma'am, with those lies. Democrats don't do anything for Americans. Stop with those lies. I don't want to hear them any longer. Let me get rid of this commercial.
And there you have it, y'all. The Democrat Party has shown that it is not ready. It is not equipped. It is not capable of handling the situation that it finds themselves in. They are unprepared for what has befallen them. Because all of their shenanigans, all of their foolishness is going to be exposed to the American people like you and I, tax-paying American citizens, law-abiding citizens, who have paid into this system only for the Democrats to let us down when they were in power, specifically over the last 4 years of this administration, where they have let so many illegal aliens flood into this country.
That's right.
And I know if you felt anything like I felt, you felt like you couldn't do anything about it. You felt like the opposition was insurmountable. But we knew all along that Joe Biden wasn't the president of the United States. He was a figurehead, but somebody else behind the scenes was running this show.
Go back and check out my old videos. It was Obama, all right, 3.0. Okay, we know, we've known. Go back and check out my old videos. We're on this channel, this YouTube channel. We've been talking about Joe Biden's cognitive decline forever. So we know Obama was running it. That's why he was still there in Washington. Obama had 3 terms. We know that. That's why he was trying so hard to get the Curry Queen in there so he could have another term. When she lost, he left Washington. Make the connection, folks. You know what's going on just like I do. Here we go.
Well, we're going to find out. And you're finding out day by day as these Democrats come out kicking and screaming and flailing. You're seeing somebody scared. Somebody is terrified. Somebody is afraid that their misdeeds and misgivings are going to be exposed to the American people. Y'all, we sitting here waiting.
That's it.
Expose it.
Yep.
Shine a light on it. Let us see what's going on. And we will react accordingly, because this should be a government by the people, for the people. Oh, we're going to get it taken care of, put it back in the hands of the people.
Yep.
And we know what to do with it. We got the right president for the right time in this country's history. And now is the time for us to make history by casting these Democrat politicians to the side, knowing that they meant nothing well for the American people.
Facts.
We are proud to be Americans. We are proud of that flag. We are proud of the history, although it is blemished, it is imperfect. We are proud of it because our ancestors helped build it, whether you are black, white, blue, green, red, yellow. We all played a part in the building of this country, and we are proud of the part that we played, and we are going to stand strong under this flag, under our president, Donald Trump 2.0. Y'all let me know what you think about this. I'd love to know your thoughts as the.
All right, guys, what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? And yeah, this guy, oh man, I love his commentary. He looks at this, he has the same thought process that we do. Like, they are full of it. Ruby, Linda Lee says Hunter was pulling the strings. Arena Uncensored. Ruby, I believe you. Okay. Oh yeah, when they had that lady on the brink and she jumped ship, which I don't blame her. Right, Robert? That's why they lost. Rita said that man is correct. Yes. I love his commentary because he looks at things the same way we do. And we see the crookedness of the Democratic Party. We see they did nothing for Americans. They sent all of that money overseas. And so, no, you're not doing anything for Americans. So guess what? We're not doing anything for you. And that's how that goes. And so, Robert, I seen in another podcast where AOC was trying to incite. Robert, that's all they have left. They are so angry and they've lost power. They lost the White House, the Senate. They don't know what to do. Yes, Monique, they're being exposed. And every day it's something different. I love it. Peter, get pulled over and tell a cop, I pay your salary. See how that goes? Peter! Peter, it's not going to go too well for you. You're right. I agree. Hit the like button for me, folks. And we're just going to continue to expose the Democrats. And I love it. And again, to me, I don't think they'll win another election. And, you know, they're just, every time they say something, it is just, I'm like, what are they talking about? It's like they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. It's like they're in shock. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Oh my God. And I love it. You know, they are being exposed. And with this being Trump's second time around, he learned from the first time. How you doing, Bach? Mary Terry, howdy everyone. Norfolk, Virginia. All right, Bach. Hit the like button. We have someone new here. Hit the subscribe button, love. We welcome all new folks. All right. We're glad you're here. And we're talking about the Department of Education. And we know it is a farce. And again, regardless of the side of the spectrum that you're on or how you vote, statistics don't lie. They don't. If you look at the blue states, the blue cities. Okay, look at the test scores. Robert, I miss Kmart too. They are mad that the money train is running out of steam. Yes, all the millions, if not billions, that they were wasting. Again, Democrats don't do anything for the American people. So guess what? We're not doing anything for you. Doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, Asian. They're not doing anything for Americans. They're the elites. They do for themselves. That's it. Linda, it's amazing you don't see any Republicans out there complaining about the audits. That speaks Linda, truth bomb. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Bach Marie Terry. I'm glad. I hope you're enjoying this content. And I did a video on the Democrats yesterday. Let me see. Here we go. So Bach Marie and anyone else here who's new, I just dropped that link. The Arena Uncensored, if you're still here, go ahead and drop your channel link, love. He has excellent content as well. Okay. So make sure you subscribe to the Arena Uncensored. He's sometimes a guest here on the show. And I'm sure if you enjoy this content, you'll enjoy his content as well. Okay? All right. I will be live again tomorrow, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mari, okay. Okay, yeah, like Mari Povich. Okay, Bob, gotcha. Okay. Peter, I heard there's Republicans. Yeah, Rita, the rhinos, the ones, they're Republican in name only. Yeah, they're involved in this cover up. The ones who Trump, like I said, he found out who they were his first term. Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, I guess we do. I guess we could do a show on Jazzy. Yeah, she's becoming even more unhinged as well. You know, she and that Marjorie Taylor Greene, boy, they can't stand each other. Oh my God. Yeah, she's a Democratic shill, so she wants to keep her checks coming. So we know what that's all about. Rachel, thank you so much, love. I didn't know you were here, Rachel. Rachel, what are your thoughts on this subject matter? What are your thoughts, love? We want to know. Because Lanita says the members of the Congressional Black Caucus came in poor, but they're all millionaires. Lanita, right. That's what I'm saying. Trump, please disband the Congressional Black Caucus. They only support and advocate for immigrants. And one thing that really angered me, all of these immigrants, you know, the Democrats are behind them out here protesting in the streets. They don't have American flags. You're fleeing your home country. It's so awful. It's terrible. But you're here protesting in America with said flags from your home country. Make it make sense, people. I don't get that. Jasmine Crocodile. Robert. Oh my God, Robert, I love it. I love it. Hit that like button, folks. And you know, I'll be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Money on MTG. Okay. Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She said something about Jasmine's eyelashes, and then Jasmine called her bad built, butch body, blonde, or some kind of crap. They made a song on it on Instagram. I'm like, oh my God. CJ Parks, that's exactly what she is. She's a part of she's a black gatekeeper. She's a race hustler. She wants to keep her checks coming. That's all she is. Rita, Lanita, I agree. How does AOC get elected and come to Washington unable to pay rent? Now she's worth $8 million. Rita, we know how that works. We've been talking about it on this channel. Yes. Rachel, I never vote for the blue. Rachel, I love you. The past 4 years, we all suffered with the inflation. Yes, Rachel, you got it. You got it, sister. How you doing, Christopher? Yeah, that stuff funny. They don't want to be there, but want to bang with the flag. Chris, make it make sense. They fled their country. Some of them had to come through 5, 6, 7 other countries to get here. They're here protesting. You would think they would protest and have American flag. They're protesting with the flag of the country they fled. And I have a problem with that. Trump, get these people out of here, please, quickly, expeditiously. Get these people out, okay? You can't make... I'm just looking at these people. I'm like, what are you doing? What the heck? I mean, at least you could fake it. At least go out there and try to fake it. No, they're just out here. And like I said, when I saw all those people out there with their home flags, I said, I'm done. This is what I did. You know, I have to put up my Viola Davis. When I saw those people with their home flags, this is what I did. They had a verbal cat fight. Yes, Lanita, what did she call her? Bad built butch body? What was that? Because they made a little song, a little dingle on it. I was like, oh my God. Dalton and Thornton Township. Bach, Mari. I've done several videos on that. Do you want me to drop a link for you? Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I've done several videos on the village of Dalton, as well as the Thornton Township. A lot going on there. Let me sing this Eagle songs. I have an Eagle song I just thought about that I dedicate to Mad Maxine Waters. Ooh, witchy woman, see how high she flies. Ooh, witchy woman. Anybody remember that Eagle song? Oh, from the 70s? That's Mad Max. She needs to go. Bach Amari, you see, I just dropped a channel link for you. Yeah, check those out. If you leave comments, I'll definitely respond to them. Okay. All right. Let's see who remembered that wrote that Eagle song. Thank you so much, Florida. How you doing? Free to be me, Rolynn. I'm new to your channel. Thank you for talking about this craziness. What is happening to our country? Free to be me. The country is trying to get back on track after this last 4 years of complete madness. Oh my God. Good night, Maya sisters. Thank you for stopping in, love. Free to be me. Check out the link I just dropped. Since you're new to the channel, subscribe. Make sure it's on all notifications. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, Bach. Mari, I love Don Henley. Even when he went solo, I love Don Henley. Laura, you remember? Okay. I told you guys now, I am a Generation Xer, so I go back. I go way back. I was singing a song, and one of the younger teachers, I was singing a song from 1970. You remember the song by ABBA? Knowing me and knowing you. There is nothing we can do, because I love ABBA. And she was like, you sure you're not a baby boomer? I said, I'm a Generation Xer. Thank you. Yes. And all I can say about these Democrats, yes, they're angry. They're upset. They're being exposed. Should have been an actor, but I wound up here instead. Dirty laundry. Kick them when they're up. Kick them when they're down. Kick them when they're up. Kick them all around. Yes, dirty laundry. I remember that from the 80s. Robert, that's what I said. Lady, you're almost, 80-something, 90 years old? Go home and enjoy the rest of your life. Lanita, Dancing Queen. I play that in my classroom. Now, when I play songs, you guys remember those songs from the 1970s, 10, 15 minutes long. Sometimes I'll have a student say, Miss Sibert, when is the song going to be over? I'm like, don't ask any questions. And I just keep singing. Christopher, the country was giving out American Dream packages all this time. I'm feeling some kind of way that our people didn't get the memo. What American Dream packages? The Democrats were only giving to the immigrants. We didn't get anything. Christopher, okay. Music therapy, how you doing, love? We're pretty much done. But I'll be live. Those of you who are new here, I'm live every Saturday, every Sunday at 4:00 p.m. I am live. Is it live or is it Memorex? And I love it. I love that the exposure is continuing. And I'm going to sing one of my favorite Carly Simon songs. As the exposure continues, one of my very favorite Carly Simon songs is Anticipation. Anticipation is making me wait. Yes. I can't wait. Every day I'm checking, I'm scrolling, and there's something new every day. Simply Red, yes. Holding back the years. Yes. Lori said, don't say anything, just do your schoolwork. Oh my God. Yes, Caesar. Thank all of you for being here. I enjoyed all of you. Thor, thank you for coming back, love. I know you're busy. We're all busy, but hey, I love it. I love talking to you. It's very cathartic for me. It helps me, stay on top of my game. And by you sharing your thoughts, that helps. You learn from me, but I learn from you as well. Vipa, good night. Music therapy, I am. A human jukebox. Music therapy, I'm a jukebox hero. I love Foreigner too. Yes, I love Foreigner. It's urgent. Wait and see how urgent our love will be. It's urgent, urgent, urgent. Yes. I listen to every genre. I can sing it all. Bluegrass, country. The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind. He was willing to make a deal. Don't get me started. Oh, I love it. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. All right. ELO, don't bring me down. I love ELO. Yes, Lanita. Robert says arrest AOC. Yes, they're all going down. That's why they're freaking out, because they know their time is up. Christopher, it's crazy in LA right now. Yes, Christopher, I know. Greg, she doesn't want unity. If she pushes unity, her checks will stop. So she just she continues to push divisiveness. They don't want the Democrats. They don't want us together. No Nosferatu. CJ, I don't know what Nosferatu. I'm not sure what you're telling me, CJ. But that's why, Greg, not just Maxine. You're right about Maxine. These race hustlers, they don't want us together. We are together. They don't like it. Tough. When we're together, they don't have a use. I told you yesterday, the video I made yesterday, they're trying to get Black Americans angry, stirred up, emotional, in the streets, protesting. Newsflash. While they are in their beautiful $1 million mansions behind what? In their gated communities. And they want us to go out there and be tear gassed and pepper sprayed, possibly shot, possibly tasered. Nuts. What we don't have anything to go out in the streets and protest about. All we need to do is sit back and watch as the exposure continues. How you doing, Chris? Hit that like button, dear. Chris, that's how the race hustlers stay in business, trying to keep us divided. And I'm glad more people are waking up to it. They've been trying to get our attention for the past few years. Yes, Christopher, yes, you're absolutely right. And people aren't listening to them anymore because they're being exposed and they're losing it. Late in the evening when the sun went down, high on the hill way above the town, Uncle Pen played a fiddle. You could hear it talk. You could hear it sing. All right, Bach Mari. Okay. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Chuck Schumer looks so ridiculous. CJ Parks, Chuck Schumer, he needs to go to Shady Pines too. OMG. These people are losing it. They don't know how ridiculous they look. Christopher, right. We're sitting back. They're trying to get us in the streets protesting. They're trying to get us to protest against Christopher. Check out the video I did. Let me drop the link so you don't have to search for it. They're trying to get us out here protesting against Walmart and Target. No one's listening to these people. And furthermore, you're going to wind up hurting the very Black Americans that you say you're out here working for. Because Walmart they employ a lot of Black Americans. Okay? So if you sit up here and you know roly-poly, they're telling us to boycott McDonald's. They employ a lot of Black Americans as well. They have many programs, scholarships, all kinds of things that they offer to Black Americans. So no one's listening to these people. They're nuts. They are nuts. And I just dropped a link for you. You can check that out. Christopher, they're telling us to boycott all of these companies who got rid of or who are getting rid of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Hey, if you can do the job, you don't need diversity, equity, and inclusion. I don't need it. I have my credentials. I have my teaching license. I have 27 years of teaching experience. I have all of my observations of, over the years. I can take that and go get a job and teach anywhere that I choose to. I don't need to be hired because I'm Black. That's another divisive tool that they use. Lanita, FBA folks not supporting the illegal protests like they want. That's another reason they're mad, Lanita. They're mad because they want Black people again. These race hustlers, these Black gatekeepers, the Black Bole, they are angry. They want Black Americans out here in the streets protesting with the illegals. And they're not, and they're angry. Like, oh my God, we've had you on the plantation all these years and you're not doing what we tell you. Get out of here. CJ, yes, but yeah, the Bud Light treatment is real. Bud Light is getting back to some normalcy. They lost millions of dollars. They had to. Music therapy, I heard, love. Christopher, okay. Yeah, check it out. Christopher, leave me some comments. I'll respond to your comments, love. Carl's Jr., Bud Light commercials for the Super Bowl. Finally getting back to masculinity. Yeah. That is the demographic that uses your product. So if you want to stay in business, you better get back to it. Thank you, music therapy. Christopher, yes. Christopher, you're new here. You just dropped a truth bomb. The Democrats, the Black Bole, the gatekeepers, the race hustlers are always trying to use Black Americans to do their dirty work. Not this time, Satan. Christopher, I like the way you think. You're new to the channel. That's what I've been saying while they're in their mansions. But they're here to do stuff to help Black Americans. No, they're not. They're helping themselves to millions of dollars. And they're in their gated community. I need to pull it up. Maxine Waters, when was this? When Trump was running for president the first time, 2015. I saw a picture, there was a short clip. Maxine Waters, I'm like, she's full of it. A police officer in California had pulled the Black man over. There was no problem. She pulls over. She sees, this is a photo op for her and a video op. She pulls over her nice. She was in looked like a black Infinity SUV, the big ones. Them things are like what, $100,000. She pulls over and gets out of her SUV. And like I said, the cop is just talking. They had just pulled a guy over, just writing him a ticket. There was no problem. She gets out of her car, her SUV, and walks over there. Again, it was a photo op. I have to make sure that he's not mistreating the brother. Auntie Max, Mad Max, go away. It was a video op. She didn't give a care about that Black man, if he was shot or whatever. He was just sitting in his car. The officer was just writing him a ticket. But she had that opportunity to say, hey, I'm here for you. No, you're not. Stop it. Right, Lanita? Bud Light, FAFO. Hey. Yes, Christopher. Christopher, if you come here tomorrow, I'll have it pulled up so I can show you. I got to make sure he's not mistreating the brother. Lady, get out of here. Fake. You remember that song by Alexander O'Neal? I think it came out 84, 85. Baby, you're a fake. That's her. That's all of it. All the race baiters. Music therapy. That's a good point. I was thinking the same thing. Does she have some dementia? Some, Alzheimer's? I don't know. She's getting worse. Yes. Aurelius, how are you? Hit the like button, love. Christopher, are you coming back tomorrow at 4:00 p.m.? Let me know. And as soon as I get off from here now, I'll pull it up so I'll have it ready for you. Type it. Let me know if you're going to be here tomorrow, Christopher. Yeah, and I'll never forget. I'm like, what the heck is this lady doing? Lady, go somewhere. And in her district, she doesn't even live with her brethren. And okay, Christopher, 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When I end this live, I'll find that. I'll show that to you tomorrow. Yes. And I'm like, lady, if it's still on the internet, I'll look for it. It's just a little short clip. Auntie Maxine's old bad wig is too tight. Lanita, that James Brown wig is definitely too tight. Boy, when Trump said that, I just lost it. I've been laughing ever since. I'm like, Trump is a trip. Talking about her James Brown wig. And then they accuse him of being racist for saying that. Get out of here. Woo! Yes, Christopher. When she needs to be in Shady Pines. Talking about, I'm going to make sure he's not mistreating the brother. Lady, bye. Goodbye, lady. No one's listening to you. No one's listening to these other race hustlers. And I'm glad Lanita said, I think it was Lanita that said something about, was it Lanita? And that's why they're really angry. Was it Chris? Who said that? Was it Chris? Because I meant to say it and then I forgot. Christopher said that. They're really angry that we're not out there in the streets protesting with those illegal immigrants. Oh my God, they're angry about that. CJ, she's in $1 million mansion, but she acts like she's out here for poor Black Americans. No, you're not. You're out here for yourself, just like the Congressional Black Caucus, just like the other Black race hustlers. Get out of here. Get out of here. So she's out here like she's out here for the brethren. No, ma'am, you're out here for yourself. Stop it. Jesse Jackson, well, he's not, his health is kind of shaky, so you don't really see him out a lot. Al Sharpton is still getting around pretty good. He has to keep his checks coming. Yes, Christopher. Yes. Right? Really, she has enough money to get hair implants. Thor gets it. Yes. Exactly. No one's listening to them. They're angry. You want to protest? You go out there in the streets and protest. Because like Christopher said, they've been using Black people for years. And I am so glad I never went out there and marched with those people. Yes, Christopher said, he was like, we was there for you guys during the Black and Brown thing. Oh God, Christopher. Oh, wow. And that's all it is, folks. People are waking up. Black Americans are like, we're not going out here in these streets. And again, why I'm so angry, they're telling us to boycott the companies who hire, you know, and think about now, some of these small towns, if you have a Walmart, they're the largest employer. You go through with these boycotts and they start laying people off, you're hurting the people that you say you're trying to help. Chris. Rolynn, what do you think the reason is for the old politicians still running? I think some of these are appointed and not elected. I think, some people just get so addicted to power and they just don't want to go home. That's why we need to take that out of their hands and have term limits. That Al Sharpton Costco buy, CJ, what kind of sense did that make? He did that as a photo and video op, bought all those gift cards. They walked around the store. No one spent any money. And the actual customers members of Costco were angry because they were like, they were standing in lines and these people are walking around and didn't buy anything. Get out of here. And that's what I think the reason is. Right, CJ? It was silly. It was ludicrous. It was a video op. It was a photo op. Right, Christopher? Christopher now understands. Christopher, I never went out in those streets. Well, obviously, what was the largest was the Black Lives Matter, after the Chris Floyd situation. It didn't make sense to me. And I'm like, and I did an honest self-assessment because they were telling us that you're oppressed. You can't make it because of white supremacy. And I just started sitting there thinking, what are these people talking about? And I'm like, they just have you're so downtrodden. You're a victim of white supremacy. And I started thinking, I'm not a victim of anything. And I had some coworkers that during the George Floyd riot, I had some coworkers that actually went out and marched. I did not march. I sure did not. CJ, did you see that guy begging all those people to go back in and buy stuff and they ignored him? Yeah. And you got some of these idiots. There was this black preacher, and you know how I feel about these black preachers. I've done enough videos on them and their shenanigans. He went to Target. He purchased, it was like almost $3,000. Well, he didn't purchase. He went and collected almost $3,000 worth of merchandise. He went up to the cash register. Now, this is a preacher, a so-called man of God. When the cashier, she rung up all of everything that he had picked up. So then I think the bill, it was thousands of dollars. Then he said, ma'am, I don't know if he said ma'am, but he said, let me tell you why I'm not going to pay for this merchandise. Because Target got rid of DEI. And then he walks out of the store. Really? You're a man of God. Satan told you to do that, not God. Get out of here with that nonsense. Greg, power is an aphrodisiac. Yes, Greg, it's power and control. Thank you, CJ. Yes. And that's all I'm saying, folks. Oh, yes, Chris. Oh, yeah. And again, I'm not boycotting anyone. The Democrats, where's Christopher? Trying to get people to go for the okie doke. I'm not boycotting Target. I'm not boycotting. Matter of fact, I pick an order up every Sunday morning from Walmart. Every Sunday morning, I pick an order up. They hire a lot of Black Americans. Why am I going to jeopardize their jobs because of some race hustler? I'm not. And so that's what it is, folks. It's that power and control. And they're angry because they're trying their best to get Black Americans in the streets, and they're not going. They're not going, and they are angry. They don't know what to do. They lost the White House. They lost the House. They lost the Senate. The Black Americans who were on the Democratic plantation have escaped. They're not listening to what they tell them to do. They're not out here upset, marching in the street. They don't know what to do. They've lost all control. I love it. Woo! And America will be better for it. Christopher said, yup. Yeah, Christopher, you make sure you come back tomorrow. I'm going to get off from here now so you can enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Lanita said, I'm not changing my spending for unhinged fruitcakes. Lanita, if the Curry Queen had won, we would not hear anything from these people. They would just continue to flood this country with illegals and put Americans on the back burner. Thor, thank you, Rolynn. Good luck. Thank you, Thor. If you're leaving, Thor, let me say goodbye to Thor. I think Thor's going to get out, and we're all going to get out of here now. I enjoyed all of you. Sent money for a trans comic book. Yes. Nutter Butterhead. Yes. Our tax money. Shoot. Help some of these homeless Americans. No, that makes too much sense. So I'm going, yes, Lanita, yes. And you are correct too. You're not changing for the fruitcake. I'm not either. So I'm going to get off from here and I'll continue to talk to you in the comment section as long as you're there. But I enjoyed all of you. Chris, I love you too. Thank you for coming. I enjoy talking to you. I hope you learned something because I definitely learned from all of you. And I'll be live. I know the Super Bowl is tomorrow, but I'll be live. My team's not in it. I'm not watching. I'll be live tomorrow at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me type that for the new people. Okay. So, because I want you to come back. All right. Ice, baby. CJ! CJ, would you behave? Oh yeah, but Lanita, all of you, I'm ending it now. And good night, Laurie. I'm going to end the stream, but I'll talk to you as long as you're in the comment section. I enjoyed you. Be safe. Love you. And I'm coming to talk to you right now.